Some people say we're here on earth to experience the beauties of life, the beauties of the world, in other words, the pleasurable feelings. Other people say we're here to serve others and to make the world a better place, to give something to the world. Now, I believe the truth is somewhere in the middle, and once you are able to hit that sweet spot for yourself, life just feels 100 times better. And I've managed to do that for myself to some extent, so let me tell you my story. I used to be a lazy, overweight person. I used to be addicted to video games and social media and TV shows. And I even thought these psychology concepts are pretty cringe, but at the same time, I experienced a lot of social anxiety. So I didn't really have a very good raw experience of life, unless I was stimulated, of course. But I made one simple switch that just snowballed into it and led me to make progress in all areas of my life: mental health, physical health and shape, um, social connections, relationships, wealth. All of these areas automatically improved. And let me tell you something, it was fun all the way in. Now, this is a concept a lot of people talk about online already, but I want to make a little switch on it, and it's just teaching your lizard brain about the concept of delayed gratification. So, delayed gratification is basically indulging into a negative sensation in the present moment in order for your future self to be able to feel better and to gain that pleasure maybe a few hours later, a few months later. There's a very popular experiment which describes this perfectly, and you've probably heard it, the marshmallow experiment, where some children were given candies, one candy for each child, and they were told that if they eat that candy right now, they don't get anything, and if they wait for 30 minutes, let's say, I don't know if that was the exact amount, but they will get another candy. And the children that did wait proved to have a far more successful life. Now, that says a lot about how the world works and operates, and how we should also operate, and what decisions we should take. Because you see, our lizard brain only cares about survival and pleasure. If you were to employ your lizard brain 100% from now on for the rest of your life, you would just spend your life in the same place you are at now, in the same apartment, surrounded by the same people, doing the same activities every single day. Are you fulfilled with that? That sounds like a horrible existence to me, and I bet it's the same for you. You want to accomplish things in life, you don't just want to stay in the same spot all the time. So then the only option is to step outside of your comfort zone and to employ your intelligent brain. In other words, to teach your monkey brain that there is so much to accomplish and there are so many beautiful experiences and feelings that you could go through if you step outside of your comfort zone. Now, a limiting belief I used to have was that if I get onto this process of transformation, of changing myself, of improving my life, I will always have to indulge in negative sensations and they will just dominate my life. But that is just an illusion. The negative sensations are a temporary illusion because after a while, after a pretty short while, they just go away. And they are replaced by pleasure. And this journey, this stepping outside of your comfort zone ends up feeling really good, and you can't really see it before you actually dive into it. So you just have to blindly dive in and convince yourself of its validity. Now, what about the pleasures of life? Will they go away forever? Is the goal to just be a robot who takes the perfect decisions time after time and just doesn't care whatsoever about their true feelings and their true pleasures, their authentic pleasures of life? That's not the goal. The goal is to get to the point where you can choose to disregard what your lizard brain is telling you to do. And then you will sometimes indulge in the pleasures, but you will sometimes be able to realize that I have to make progress. I want to make progress in this domain, and unless I disregard what my lizard brain is telling me to do, I will never make progress. It's just gaining that ability. Now, the way I've done it all is First of all, having the knowledge, which I tried to break down as best as I could for you in this video, but then I also had a plan for myself. And step number one of this plan is to understand that the current way your life is going will lead you nowhere. Nothing will change unless you take action. Your current instant gratification activities probably feel bad in the future anyway. Like if you eat a huge junk food meal, you just feel good right now and then half an hour later you feel horrible. And that's with every single one of them. That's the paradox of instant versus delayed gratification. That's how it works. So if you do nothing, nothing will change. If you take action, your future self will thank you deeply, and your future self will experience pleasure, a different sort of pleasure, a more healthy pleasure. The life will feel better. The raw experience of life will just feel 100 times better. But first of all, you have to have an intention for this. You have to have a goal, a domain of life where you really want to make progress in. A burning desire even, it's very, very important. And that's step number 2, to choose your pursuit, to choose the domain of life where you want to make progress in. It might be fitness, which is a very easy one that people always get into, and it was my first domain in which I made progress. Or it might be just social connections, wealth, relationships. You can choose anything you want. Step number 3, once you do that, you have to take your human mind, your intelligent mind, and understand that you have to make a daily schedule for it. The decision is taken already, you want to engage in this process, on this journey, so you have to set yourself a plan. You have to, every single day, establish an activity which progressively overloads the amount of discomfort you're feeling. So in other words, you have to torture your monkey brain, because it will not like it whatsoever. But you know this is the only way. This is how you teach it, that there is such a concept as delayed gratification in the first place. So the idea is to engage in activities that are a bit more uncomfortable than the previous day, every single day. And this journey is a transformation journey. Transformations, and true transformations, take a very long time. So don't be shy of allocating a big amount of time for it. Now, an important thing worth noting is that you might not be able to clearly see what's gonna happen like 3 months from now. So we have to leverage momentum here. What I suggest to do is establish your routine for the next 20 days. Not your entire routine, but establish the progressive, the uncomfortable sensation you want to go through for the next 20 days. Make yourself a schedule for the next 20 days. And then your task for day 21 will be to establish the schedule for the next 20 days, or maybe you see it more clearly. Maybe it's the next 6 months even, or something like that. You probably know it already. After 20 or something days, your habits start forming, so you gain momentum. It's gonna be much easier for you to engage in stuff like this, in situations like this, than it was before. And momentum is a game changer as well. Now your monkey brain will keep telling you that, this feels horrible, I don't really feel like doing this, I don't want to do this, where's the pleasure, I just want pleasure. It's so much better to just lay in your bed and consume content all the time. But you have to constantly remember that the decision you took to get onto this journey was taken by a different version of you, by a different part of your brain. It's not the same. It sounds like it's the same, but it's not the same part of your brain. So choose to respect that part of your brain that took the decision in the first place, because otherwise you will just hate yourself. But after a while it will get easier, trust me. And it's not gonna be a long while either, because your monkey brain will just realize, oh, there is pleasure in this feeling of fulfillment, in this feeling of delayed gratification, and it will not protest as much as it did before. And your human mind will also be extremely proud and fulfilled of being able to take agency over their life. I don't really understand why there aren't more people doing this into their lives, engaging into delayed gratification, because it's so easy once you gain momentum. It's even addictive. Like, just imagine being addicted to this thing, to stepping outside of your comfort zone. That's so valuable. So just take the decision for yourself, make your future self a favor, and take the decision to change. Because unless you take action, nothing will change. That's a guarantee. Your life will just be the same as it's been until now. And if you're fine with that, that's okay. But if not, choose your pursuit, choose your domain of life where you want to make progress in. And once you train your lizard brain, you'll just see that the other areas of your life will automatically make progress as well. And if you want tailored guidance from me personally, I have a link in the description.